And today I'm going to be answering the question that you may have as to whether alcohol, but in this particular case whiskey, and whether that breaks a fast. Well, yes it does, and the reason it does is because most alcohols, whiskey included, contains a lot of calories. And just so you know, those are empty calories, and what that means is empty calories means that it's got a high calorific content, but it has no nutritional value. So if we compare, in this case, whiskey to an egg, so a 25 milliliter shot of whiskey at 40% volume, which is what this is, or alcohol by volume 40%, it's around about 56 calories. Now, if I compare that to a large egg, a 57-gram egg roughly, that gives you 78 calories. And when you think about the nutrients that are in an egg, it's high quality protein, it's got vitamins and good fats, and I'm now just being joined by my cat. So she just heard me up in the wood. It's got good fats, minerals and trace nutrients. So if you think about it, an egg, or if it's a chicken egg of course, will turn into a chicken or create a chicken. So you think about it, that's got a lot of nutrients in there. And if you eat an egg, then of course you're going to gain from all those nutrients. Versus, sorry to be a party pooper, but a glass of alcohol doesn't have all those nutrients that an egg does, but it gives you a high dose of calories. But coming back to answering the question about whether whiskey or alcohol breaks a fast, yes it does, because this has got about 52 calories for a shot of whiskey. That's enough to break a fast. Now in theory there's nothing wrong with having a shot of whiskey during your non-fasting period or when you're actually eating. And just so you know, I'm doing intermittent fasting and I'm doing the 16/8, so for 16 hours of the day, from the night before through to whatever time it is at 16 hours later, I'm fasting or not eating, and then for an 8-hour window I am eating. So during that 8-hour window of eating, there's nothing wrong in having a shot or two of whiskey, everything in moderation of course, because you've already broken your fast. But always be mindful of how much alcohol you drink, and obviously by having too much of this, you're increasing your calorie intake. Now, it just so happens, when you look at the different types of alcohol, and when I was looking at whiskey in particular, interestingly, whiskey's got some trace elements of phosphorus, thiamine, which is vitamin B1, zinc, iron, niacin, which is vitamin B3, and it's also got allergic acid, which is seen to be an antioxidant which may kill cancer cells, reduce tumour growth, reduce inflammation and possibly the risk of diabetes. But I wouldn't get too excited about that. That's possibly unlikely. And that was an article I read on WebMD. So I wouldn't rely on that too heavily, because one shot of whiskey is going to have very, very low levels of that. To obviously increase those levels, you're going to be drinking way too much whiskey, and then obviously the downside of having too much alcohol will outweigh any of those benefits. Again, not to be a party pooper, you've got to be very careful with how much alcohol you intake, but certainly don't be drinking any whiskey or alcohol during your fasting period. I hope that helps, and happy intermittent fasting, and bye for now.